In the cool lavender light of a January dawn, Lake Tana, the largest body of water in Ethiopia and the mystical source of the Blue Nile, transforms into a theater of ancient devotion. While the Timket, Epiphany, celebrations in Gondar and Lalibela are famed for their grand stone baths and rock-hewn majesty, the celebration on Lake Tana offers a singular ethereal spectacle, a sacred aquatic procession where the tabot, the replica of the Ark of the Covenant, travels not by land, but by water. The festivities begin on the eve of Timket, known as Ketera. In the lakeside city of Bahir Dar and the remote island monasteries, the atmosphere vibrates with anticipation. The air is thick with the scent of frankincense and the rhythmic low-frequency hum of the quebero, drums. Priests, draped in heavy, gold-embroidered velvet robes of crimson and emerald, emerge from the dark interiors of 14th-century monasteries like Urakidane Meret and Azwa Mariam. The central focus is the tabot, which represents the presence of God. Wrapped in layers of shimmering silk and carried atop the head of a high priest, the tabot is shielded by a rotating canopy of multicolored fringed ceremonial umbrellas. On the mainland, processions wind through streets lined with palm fronds, but on the lake, the journey is silent and silver. As the sun begins to crest over the horizon, casting a copper glow across the water, the maritime procession begins. This is the heart of the Lake Tana experience, a fleet of boats ranging from modern motorized vessels to the traditional tanquas, ancient papyrus reed boats used since the time of the Old Testament, assembles at the shoreline. The priest bearing the tabot boards a lead vessel, which is transformed into a floating sanctuary. The boat is adorned with the green, yellow, and red of the Ethiopian flag and draped in white linen. Surrounding this central vessel are dozens of smaller boats filled with the faithful. The sight is breathtaking. Thousands of pilgrims dressed in the netela, a hand-woven white cotton shawl, create a sea of white against the deep blue of the lake. As the flotilla moves across the water toward the designated baptismal site, the sound of the tsinatser clinking and the melodic chanting of the cantors drift across the waves. The movement of the boats mimic a slow, graceful dance, a shibsheba on the water, that feels as though the lake itself is participating in the liturgy. The blessing of the waters. By the time the sun is high, the fleet reaches the ceremony site, often a sheltered bay or a historic landing near the mouth of the Nile. Here, the baptism of Christ is reenacted. A large cross is dipped into the lake, and the water is consecrated with prayers that have remained unchanged for over 1,000 years. The stillness of the prayer is suddenly broken by a jubilant explosion of energy. The priest uses a golden hose or a bunch of hyssop to spray the holy water over the crowds. On Lake Tana, this ritual takes on a visceral quality. Young men, unable to contain their excitement, dive from their boats into the lake, their white robes billowing in the water as they swim to touch the blessed waves. The shouts of joy, ululation from the women echo off the surrounding hills, a high-pitched, rhythmic sound that signals the victory of light over darkness. What makes the Lake Tana celebration uniquely beautiful is the marriage of spiritual ritual and raw natural wonder. As the boats glide between the islands, participants often catch glimpses of the lake's other residents. Great white pelicans glide alongside the procession, their wingspan matching the rhythm of the oars, while the occasional hippo might surface in the distance, a silent observer of the human fervor. The backdrop of the island monasteries adds a layer of living history. These circular, thatched roof structures, hidden within dense coffee forests and ancient lemon trees, serve as the departure and return points for the tabots. Inside, the walls are covered in psychedelic 16th century frescoes of saints with wide, watchful eyes. To see the tabot return to these ancient stones after its journey across the lake is to witness a cycle of faith that has survived empires, wars, and the passage of centuries. The afternoon procession, the return. After the baptism, the energy shifts from solemnity to a communal feast. The tabat begins its journey back to its home church, but the pace is slower, more celebratory. The boat-to-shore transition is a riot of color. Upon docking, the priests are met by horsemen, brass bands, and thousands of local residents. The young men perform the eskesta, a traditional shoulder-shaking dance that is both athletic and rhythmic. The dust of the lakeside paths rises to meet the white robes of the dancers, creating a golden haze in the afternoon light. It is a day where the barrier between the divine and the earthly seems to dissolve. The lake is no longer just water, but a Jordan River in the heart of Africa. Experiencing Timket on Lake Tana by boat is more than just observing a festival. It is an immersion into the soul of Ethiopia. It is the smell of roasted coffee and burning wax, the sight of white-clad thousands silhouetted against the vast inland sea, and the sound of ancient Gez chants vibrating through the hull of a boat. It is a reminder that in this corner of the world, faith is not a Sunday morning obligation, but a vibrant, living force that moves across the water like the wind.